Stand to my warriors, and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we get into the campaigns of Harrows. And last time, well, we're starting to get things underway. We have run into our first set of lambs and stolen a fairly interesting engine, although we can't yet use it. We need, well, everything. It's the start of a new campaign, and so you need all of the supplies, everything from heat sinks to medium lasers, which is a little bit of an odd thing to actually require for once, considering in a couple of, well, probably months of in-game time, we're going to be having like 55 to 150 medium lasers, but that is not now, and so with that in mind, we need more salvage, and good salvage can be hard to come by unless you're humanitarian. A convoy of local government doctors ministering to those recovering from the recent conflicts here in Fletcher's Feast have become caught behind enemy lines when the ceasefire collapsed. A lance of mechs tasked with their rescue have gone missing, and we are desperate for assistance from anyone. This will be 4 of 17 priority salvage, 246,400 C-bills at a single skull difficulty. We should be able to handle it, so let us drop down right on top of their heads and cause as much havoc as absolutely possible. Alright, so we have once again busted out our A-team lance, although that's not saying much just yet. Eventually they will become something insanely powerful, but for now it's a little bit light. Anyway, Jester is of course driving the Brigand. Paradox has busted out the Javelin once again. It has finally returned from being off on repair. Howl is piloting the Phoenix Hawk because it has the biggest, baddest laser in the game, and she has the highest gunnery on the team so far. And Paladin is in the Shadowhawk because it punches good, and he's good at punching. So, with that out of the way, let us set off, see if we can't run into the enemy force somewhere off in the distance there. We know where we're meeting up with this convoy, and I assume once we get there, we are going to have to fight some people around the area, which, you know, is exactly the point. With any luck, they're going to be in mechs, and we'll be able to rob their stuff blind. If they're in vehicles, that makes the salvage a little bit less easy to come by. Well, maybe not, depending on how you justify how you get salvage. Weapons are fairly easy to get off of vehicles because, in general, you'll break part of the vehicle, and it's not actually the part where the weapon is, and so you get to steal it that way. But mech parts and mech equipment are always in sore need and short supply, or at least at this point in the game. So let's... Seriously? There's nobody here? According to the Javelin sensors, there's absolutely nobody here, so unless somebody's busting out the stealth armor, we may have nothing to worry about. I'm going to fly the Phoenix Hawk on ahead just to avoid the little area of spores so that we don't have to take the potential damage, just in case someone happens to just show up out of nowhere. Having our Brigand leap forward as well, placing us well ahead of the enemy. The Shadowhawk can jump, but not all that far, which is one of the several things I will probably be removing from it when we do our major rebuild on it. Unfortunately, the 2H is a pretty terrible mech, and I don't feel bad at all saying that because I think that it's absolutely atrocious. No, it's really bad, actually. I'm going to walk around the zone because the Shadowhawk went the wrong direction. I do believe that this path will take us over off to the east somewhere, and so in order to make sure that we have everybody here together instead of the Shadowhawk desperately trying to keep up, he's going to spend an extra turn running around to the area. I also don't want to penalize my pilots by making them reserve for a turn and forcing them to have a lower potential initiative for that first run. Alright, sprint, and yeah, that'll be close enough. We'll be able to get them right basically on top of the zone, so they're not actually lagging behind anything. Lovely, and next turn we'll activate it and be able to move on out. Although, in the meantime, we can immediately start sprinting on ahead, so we'll be in a good position to attack later on. Nothing on sensors just yet, but we're not anticipating them happening until they spawn on in. Give me Howl once again, and let us run at maximum speed, managing to avoid most of the spores there, so we don't have to worry about anything to do with that. Jester, your Brigand really kind of should be up front. That'll be close enough. You'll be able to maneuver there whenever it is required. Paladin will, of course, set off the whole maneuver, and let's activate the friendly force. Alright, so the convoy has been successfully turned on. Hopefully we are actually moving in the right direction. According to this, we are. We do have mechs already located, a flea, a 15-ton flea, and a gun technical. Okay, this is not exactly what we were hoping to salvage. A locust and a flea are not really mechs we're all that interested in. Maybe they'll have medium lasers, but if so, I'll probably have to avoid coring them out, because that's probably where their medium lasers would be equipped. In general, just in order to keep them as well protected as possible. Technical, gun technical probably has a light rifle at most, maybe a medium rifle, but I kind of doubt it. Alright, let's get underway. It's time for you to get on top of the enemy and make them suffer. Okay, we've identified 4 targets. We've got a pirate harasser, which generally is equipped with SRMs, at least harassers in general are. Then we've got our gun technical, we've got our flea, and then the locust, which has a pair of medium lasers. Let me guess, they're CT mounted? Oh, they're not. Interesting, where are they? Oh, we don't actually know. We don't have detailed enough information. Blast away, little javelin. It's time to welcome you back into the fold. And already you've managed to expose his structure, increase his heat. Not quite sure how. Must have blown up a pod or something. Jester, get your brigand up here. I require your pulse lasers for maximum accuracy. If you jumped, could I get you up there? Not quite. I will sprint out into the reasonable open because I'm fairly positive that my defenses can handle it. Only a 40% chance to hit, but it should be good enough. Wasn't quite, but at least he's a little bit stressed now. Howl can move on forward as well. Has a fairly decent shot from here, one would imagine. Yeah, 50% chance on that large laser. Shut off the mediums for the heat and just give him poke. Managed to miss. Not exactly exciting on that one. So, unidentified pilot, a Locust 3V. I really would like to steal his medium lasers. Oh, that feels so painful to say. I need to rob him of his medium lasers. Yeah, give me a direct line of sight. No heat. The recoil's negligible fire anyway. Oh, whoops. Sorry, Brigand. I think I hit you with an AC-5. Yeah, we hurt the Brigand. We hurt the Brigand badly, didn't we? Almost blew his leg off. Okay, that's definitely something that I'm going to have to sort of readjust to. I didn't think it was going to be that bad a shot. Logan's taking a couple more missiles, more penetrating hits. Heat sinks are being destroyed left, right, and center. And the pilot is panicking. Maybe we can get him to eject if we're super lucky, but I kind of doubt it. So the Locust is still hanging out off in the corner as they try and sort out who needs to move first. Probably one of the fleas, I'd imagine, but maybe it's the Locust. I mean, we are on Phase 18, and he is also a Phase 18 pilot. He's going to immediately open fire, managed to nail the Brigand a couple of times. The Brigand's leg desperately needs to be covered. I don't think there's anything actually in the leg. Oh no, there's jump jets and foot actuators and all that sort of fun stuff. I'm gonna try and wipe you out. Where are those lasers? It's all I care about. I'm gonna step right up close and personal, right in front of him, in the hopes that we don't blow up the entire mech. Fire! Just the center torso. We took out the right torso, which set off ammunition's machine guns. So maybe we got a laser out of that one. It's always an interesting prospect to try and keep the enemy half alive when you're trying to also kill them at the same time. Alright, friendly vehicles moving on forward. Howl gets to move up as well, and Howl can actually get into stomping range. 87% chance. What are we looking at in terms of health here? 41 damage. Probably won't kill it. I mean, it's probably got like 30... Well, actually, no. Maybe if it's got 36 health, then we have a partially... potential chance of this happening. Let's see what happens with the stomp. It's gone. Nice job. All right, so Howl managing to expertly dish out the amount of punishment that was required, as one might expect from a leader of pirates, and a single medium laser of some description. It is a 15-ton flea, an ultralight flea. These are not all that common, I don't think. In any event, we're going to have to hopefully break it apart without taking away its thing, the medium laser that we're probably stealing from it. Just a couple of missiles this way. Not that it was going to hit, but hey, we don't suffer anything for it, and there wasn't anybody in the way this time. Jester, time for you to come on forward as well. I really don't want to put you that much out in the open, but I'm going to. The reason is because I think I can torch him. Maybe shut off the ER medium. One ER medium. And there goes the technical. So I think hopefully we managed to keep everything else alive. So down to just the flea, and it's time for the enemy to rock and or roll. Let's see exactly what they have planned for us on this one. I mean, I imagine he's going to attack the Brigand. The Brigand is the most vulnerable at the moment. It can't necessarily destroy his... Oh, never mind. It absolutely... Wait, no, medium laser just got nerfed. So, it can't necessarily destroy it, but the flea has a lot of movement, and the game is crunching to try and figure out, and he's terrified. He's just going to sit still and not actually try and engage anybody. Start taking machine gun fire. I'd love to be able to, you know, take his head off, just to have it. I mean, we could sell the flea. Wouldn't be that big of a deal. Also to hopefully preserve any sort of special equipment on board. This was a fairly low-tech group. I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more interesting. Gyro crit on that one. He has lost any evasion that he might have ever had, but he was already stationary. So that wasn't exactly a big pickup on mobile headquarters building. These doctors are fairly well equipped and armed. Jeez. And a wheeled APC going to move up. Probably going to kill the flea. Oh, no, not yet. We're getting pretty close, though. And it's a knockdown. The pilot's going to be out of things for a bit. Blop. On his back, minus 10 initiative for going down and the ouch to go along with it. How would you like to finish it off? Do we know anything about it? Not really. I kind of want to bet that the... Ooh, I can see the heat sinks. There's the gyro. Oh, that's only destroyed stuff. You know what? We're going to see if we can't expertly remove the head of the flea. Yes, it's a 5% chance. And yes, I'm going to take that chance. Well, there goes his right arm and his right torso and his medium laser, so there is nothing left inside this flea that matters at all. If the pilot ejects, we'll be in a pretty much nicer spot, but other than that, it's pretty much done for here. Set up here. Single SRM launcher. Just core him out. He's got nothing left. There's nothing worth keeping in this entire group. I mean, he had normal heat sinks, so I wasn't even all that concerned about that. The Brigand is going to maneuver at great speed, mainly in order to keep very evasive. After all, the leg is, well, badly damaged by our own fault, if we're completely honest. And we need to keep up with the convoy. So sprint on forward, make sure that we keep up with all the trucks so that they can get to the dropship in time and be successfully extracted. Allied force turn, time for them to get moving. I imagine that they will actually touch the zone, and will that set off another group? Well, here comes the dropship, so potentially. Oh yeah, I forgot to set up over here. Should have done that. Whoops, did not want to reserve. That'll be fine. We'll be fine. Sprint the Brigand. Sprint the Brigand, there we go. Let's find out who we ran into. Hello. We have a Scorpion, a fire truck. Yeah, we're taking the fire truck. The reason why we're taking the fire trucks generally have, normally they do, fluid guns is what I was expecting to see, but I don't see any on here. Blow them up anyway. He's standing still, and we had a chance, and we did not capitalize on that chance. Do have a shot here on the fire truck, and we'll take that. Large laser, it's a 25% chance. Add in the mediums as well. Why not? It's 13. Yeah, shoot at the striker. Slightly better chance of making it happen. Unfortunately, it did not. So we'll have to hopefully follow up on that pretty harshly. The Scorpion is probably the most dangerous thing in the field at the moment, although I kind of think that this convoy could possibly even take these guys on. Maybe not the Striker. The Striker is actually somewhat dangerous to them just because of the number of missiles he brings to the table. Got to get the Javelin on forward so it can actually start using its missiles in exactly the way that it was described, although I don't think any of these vehicles are actually packing AMS. No, certainly not at this point. Alright, so that means we can use our listen kill ammunition without a care in the world, so he'll be able to jump forward. It'll just be like only if he had run, because it'll be the +1 accuracy, but -3 from jumping, as opposed to the -2 from running, so it'll work out, more or less. Bouncing. Hello! I see a striker, and yeah, that's both terrible chances to hit. Do I go for the cookiness? No, I don't think I'll bother. I'll lob a couple of misses this way, but I'm not all that concerned. Hey, crew compartment hit! Nobody's actually dead, but we're working on that. Let's see if we can use our AC-5 with any certainty. No, it's a pretty terrible weapon at this stage in the game. We have to get in close, and that will require... The AC-5 really needs to be used from sort of long range along with the AC-2s, but in order to do that, we need to have connecting comms equipment like C3s, just in order to make sure that we actually have some decent accuracy, and we don't have any of that. So, let's just rush on in here. I really kind of want to take out the fire truck. Can't see anything about it, but we're about to find out something about it. Fire truck is almost dead. Lovely. Swap over to listen kill ammunition just to give us a slightly better chance. Please blow it up. Not quite, but we're working at it. Okay, we can get even closer. We're just going to walk, see if I can't keep the speed and accuracy a little bit higher. It's not doing all that well in terms of speed and accuracy. Shoot the Scorpion, just because if you can break the Scorpion, that would be ideal. And please don't hit my friends. You have still managed to miss every single shot. Alright, I got to get this thing in close. And the reason is because the only real effective weapon on this Shadowhawk is unfortunately unfortunately it's his fists. So he's got to be within melee combat range to really do anything super effectively.
Oh, come on. This game's rigged.
Yeah, Paladin is not exactly able to accomplish a whole heck of a lot, but maybe Jester can. And so Jester does have shoot and scoot, and so do exactly that. I'm going to shoot into the side of you. Maybe I should get to the other side of you in order to make this shot. Yeah, that might make a heck of a lot more sense at first. So let's see where our options are in order to move. That is an obstructed shot. That is an open shot. So we'll hop on over here, see if we can't take out the Scorpion with it before it can do anything all that dangerous. We will cook it a little bit. Ah, close, but no cigar. Should have just kept focusing on the fire truck. Allied vehicles, are you going to provide any fire support without hitting me, preferably? Is the enemy going to respond to this, or just kind of sit there? Because it kind of feels like they're just more or less sitting there. In fact, none of the enemies has moved yet. It is a little bit concerning. Although our friendly allies are moving. Any return? What are they going to do? I can't imagine they're going to move. We're right on top of them. They would have to respond in some way. Otherwise, it's going to be very odd that the only amount of damage that we actually took was inflicted on ourselves. Nope, they fired at the Brigand, and they managed to hit that leg as well. Alright, so the Brigand is now taking a little bit more damage. Are they going to move? No? They're just going to sit there, bunker up, and be aggressive like that? Kind of looking like that's what you're doing, and I gotta say, I don't think it's a winning plan. Evasion is kind of important. Yeah, sure, you hit me well. I didn't move all that far, and I could have. So let's see what the enemy thinks is the appropriate response to the current setup of the battle situation, and the answer to that is, well, not a whole heck of a lot. They're just going to keep firing on the brigand. They may have to blow up one of the jump jets, so that's an extra long repair time now, which is irritating to say the least. It's got 10 health left in that leg, and they're not moving at all. Okay. Kind of almost makes me think that something may not quite be right. We'll have to see in future missions, but this definitely seems a little bit odd that they're not moving to try and fight me. They're just kind of standing still. Even more shots coming to us. Yep, that's what I wanted to take care of. Obscuring paint, blinded. So now, unfortunately, the brigand is going to have a little bit of a harder time actually killing anybody. The javelin, on the other hand, can basically wipe out probably 2 things at a time, right? From here? Maybe from the other side. So your front is open, and I kind of want to take the shot just to wipe you out. I'm not all that concerned about the striker. Maybe I should be, but it just doesn't feel like something I need to concern myself all that much. I think I'll just back up. Back up, use the high accuracy of the missiles. They're not moving, so let's pop them. There we go. Pop the Scorpion. Still got to worry about the striker and the fire truck, but the fire truck's almost dead. Same thing with the striker. Let me guess. Your chances to hit is amazing. It didn't matter at all. Okay, shut off the ER mediums just in order to get the heat under control. Shut off one of your medium pulses. So I'm kind of relying on managing to get a lucky hit here. Hey, we got it. Fire truck is out of the fight. No longer shall we have to worry about the men with hoses. So let's get a move on and maneuver him away from here. He can only walk because of the fact that he fired. And I need to protect my right leg, which means I need to present my left side. Or, you know, my back. Either one kind of works out. Allied vehicles, are they going to respond with anything? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, you've got to get into the zone. And they're in the zone. Lovely. And Howl, if you could do me the greatest of favors and just wipe this thing out. So that we don't have to worry about it ever again. Hello. Overheat is projected. Shut off a medium laser. Shut off 2 medium lasers. You know what? Cook it. First round is free. And there we go. Vehicles have all been taken out, and it looks like our allies will be able to get out of the system in the at the end of the next turn. Paladin, you can, I suppose, hang out with them, but just get out of the way. Just in case you never quite know. And brace it up. So the worst amount of damage we took was basically because we shot ourselves, which was not exactly cool. Although part of that was because the enemy didn't seem to respond at all, which was very, very odd. We're going to have to see where things go with that. Although, maybe I've missed something. Alright, so the entire enemy force has been wiped out. Let's go see what sort of supplies we can rob from them. Really, we need everything. So I'm not all that concerned about having to kill the mechs in a fairly severe manner. I only care about their equipment anyway. 288,000 C-bills, and the Shadowhawk didn't actually pick anything up, but that's kind of to be expected. Alarm 17, because pirates, narc launchers, periphery rifles, suspicious cargo. It's a suicide bomb. Interesting. Using this weapon detonates the unit's engine. 3/4 of its traits effect added to the engine explosion. All damage is dealt as an area of effect. Deals area within 200 meters of impact. So that's what the technical was. I'm feeling a lot better about the fact that we didn't actually get all that close to it. A lot of fusion cores still left intact. Heat sinks, jump jets, basic sensors, all kinds of ammunition. Alright, did we save any medium lasers? Because that's what I care about. No, all the medium lasers got blown up. Narc missile launcher is to a certain extent useful. We can put that on things and make them useful. Haywire ammunition is great to go with that as well. Could cycle in the LRM chaff. That might be something useful on the Shadowhawk. As long as it's carrying that LRM 5, we may as well do something with it. And a periphery rifle? LRM narc ammo. Interesting. We could do a couple of things with our Shadowhawk with that. But then again, there's also 4 fusion cores. Now granted, some of them are terrible, but others not as bad. I gotta take the fusion cores. Gotta take the fusion cores. Aside from maybe one. There was one item. It was the narc launcher that I really kind of thought was somewhat interesting. But fusion cores, I can sell them. Because they're tiny fusion cores. They're not all that useful to me. But I can't imagine I can sell them for that much. Anyway, we're going to see what else we can get. So we did get the narc launcher anyway. Got the peripheral rifle as well. Some fluid ammunition, the chaff and the narc LRM, but no haywire ammo for the narc. So we'll keep an eye out on that, but it's not the biggest problem. A pair of light machine guns is not terrible either because we can put them on just to sort of fill space. They weigh a little bit, I believe they weigh half the weight of a normal machine gun, so they should be 0.25 tons. Although maybe, again, the inner sphere ones don't. Not positive on that one, but it's not all that important. Trying to come up with a mech that's going to be boating light machine guns right now probably would end up being the Shadowhawk. Oh, it's pretty terrible right now. It's got an AC-5, an LRM-5, an SRM-2, and a medium laser, and 3 jump jets. And it's pretty awful. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it, because, well, there's several ways we could go down that path. We could give it, say, all kinds of melee weapons and turn it into a punch bot, which I think is probably the direction we'll lean into should we start getting the equipment for it. Or we could put some sort of big ballistic on it. I mean, technically, we could turn it into a 55-ton hunchback, give it an AC-20. We wouldn't be able to hit the broadside of a barn, but we could do it. Okay, another 3 days and 5,175 Seabills will get us back up and running. It's all on the Brigand. The Brigand was the only thing that took any hits. 2 days until the end of the month. I think I'd rather get a mission in before that. And I have the mechs to do it with. Provided, of course, that I'm willing to take the risk. And I think that I am. Guys, we still have lost supplies, which I'm not going to take. But there's another mission. It is civilian extraction. 1 skull and 4 of 17 priority salvage. So let's go grab that one for even more salvage. Because there could be more interesting stuff. First of all, the A-team pilots have to cycle out. Cycle in the urban mech, as he will now be utilizing his AC-10 once again. We're going to try and avoid giving Mockingbird something that would require Mockingbird to rely on their piloting, which of course means that we put them in the urban mech. Finn will go in the Javelin, I want to feel? Yeah, we'll put Finn in the Javelin. Death Crusade can go in the Phoenix Hawk, which puts Coach in the Shadowhawk, since they're basically the same pilot at the moment. They haven't specialized yet, and it's a half-skull lance, which is a little bit concerning to me. With any luck, though, we'll be able to punch a little bit above our weight. It is going into an urban map, which could be interesting. I mean, there's lots of verticality, and every single one of our mechs has jump jets, so we could definitely lean in that direction. So if we can fly on top of buildings and take advantage of hopping around alleyways and that sort of thing, we might be able to get a lot done there. At least that's kind of what our lance is sort of built for. It's very much an urban combat lance. We've even got the urban mech to boot to go with it. So add in the Javelin, which came with the Urban Warfare update. We've got a lot of fun stuff to deal with here. Although I would hope that we don't run into too many mediums. We would possibly suffer with that, especially with the current pilots that we have going for us at the moment. I don't necessarily not trust them. It's just that, well, nobody's got a Gunnery 5, and it's a little bit concerning. There's not much we can do about it. Alright, so our research facility on Fletcher's Feast has been under constant attack from local government forces for some time. Rather than continue to risk their lives, we are evacuating the non-combatants. Tortuga Dominions will pay handsomely for a mercenary unit that will protect them from local government aggression. This will be 237,600 Seabills for 4 of 17 priority salvage at 1 skull difficulty, but then again we're bringing a half-skull lance on the B team, so we never quite know where that's going to go. So they're not exactly paying super handsomely, but the salvage rights, my friend, the salvage rights are lovely, and that's kind of what we're leaning into. With any luck, though, they won't just all, well, one, sit still, because that would be a little bit sad that if we can just continue to go through sealed clubbing targets. And 2, we kind of want mechs, or at least mech parts, mech items. I want to be able to rob double heatsink kits off of things. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I want to be able to take their stuff in order to make my mechs better. So let us begin the mission. Although, you know, that narc launcher is not terrible. We're going to have to find more ammunition for it, but still. Shadowhawk also going to be modified with some pretty interesting stuff now that we found some of that LRM ammo. Not sure what I want to do with it just yet, but by the time we leave here, we will. Oh, I remember this map. This is the attack and defend map, isn't it? Or maybe not. Oh, no, it's not. It's just this plaza seems very familiar. Anyway, alright, Coach, let's get you underway. We have to go meet up with the convoy, see if we run into any enemies along the way. Nothing on sensors as of yet. Could be that it's a 1 skull mission and they're not going to send them, but better safe than sorry. So we're going to send in our Phoenix Hawk and our Shadowhawk. The 2 Hawks able to hold the position up front before Finn comes stomping on through with his Javelin. Do I want to get in that way? You know what? Sure, why not? I assume the... Oh, never mind. I was about to say I assume the Brigand, but it's not the Brigand. It's the Urban Mech. So, yes, let's get sprinting underway. It's not exactly fast, but it sure is slow. Death Crusade going to maneuver most of the way up, but we are going to have to wait for the Urban Mech. The Urban Mech is definitely going to be the mech that we use to sort of support the convoy. It's got an AC-10, which has some pretty good, decent range to it, but it's also slow enough in order to keep up with the convoy. In fact, the convoy may actually outpace it, which is somewhat concerning, but we'll deal with that later. Just get everybody around the area, and then we're going to take a look to see if we can see a landing pad or some place that appears to be obvious where the convoy is heading to. Yeah, there's no way it's going to keep up with the convoy. But that's not the biggest problem, I suppose. So maybe down this route or this route. Several routes that they can take. We're just going to have to get everybody mostly clustered up on it to make sure that we cover all angles. So you can hop over here. We'll get everybody back closer to the area itself once the urban mech finally makes it there. But it's going to take the urban mech a couple of turns to do that. Phoenix Hawk positioning properly. And then Coach will, of course, position properly with the Shadow Hawk. Shadow Hawk, of course, is going to be most effective at melee combat. It deals 50 damage in melee combat, which for RogueTech is pretty good. I mean, at the very beginning of the game. Once you start adding in, like, special weapon systems, arm mods, and specific mechs designed for melee combat, 50 damage is laughably bad. But for us, at the very beginning, with no modifications to our mech whatsoever, that ain't bad. That's not wonderful, but it ain't bad. He can actually punch harder than he can fire at any real range back at once you stop to think about it. Alright, almost there. Next turn we'll have the urban mech activate the tile itself. So everybody else can brace, and brace, and brace. And finally Mockingbird can get into the zone itself. It took Mockingbird 9 turns to get into the zone. Yep, Urban's... We desperately need to get it like an XL engine, Endosteel, Pharaoh, although if I'm putting all of this stuff in an urban mech, is it really worth it? Alright, so probably going to be heading down this convoy route, down to this corner, then up to the north, which as long as we keep everybody together, we should do okay. Allied turn, they're trying to plan their route. I didn't block you at all. No, you're all up there. So the urban mech trying to keep up with this is going to be an interesting task. Might be able to maneuver it through here in order to get sort of a side angle. We have identified enemy units off in the distance. That appears to be a Ripper, if I'm by any judge of things. Oh, I think we've seen multiple Rippers. Yep, 2 Rippers so far, and a tank down to the south. Rippers are, of course, equipped with a pair of medium lasers under most circumstances. They're sliding off to the side. The listen kill ammunition will be very useful against them. Alright, Finn, time to get you underway. You have the Javelin, which is not explicitly designed to deal with this, but it'll do a fairly decent job. That won't put you within range, but you will be able to see what's going on. So we'll brace up there. We'll probably hop down to the next one. Death Crusade. Probably take position up with the convoy, or maybe I can fly and get not a line of sight on those Rippers. Nope, not quite enough distance, so we'll just stick with the convoy for now. And next turn we'll come bursting in around the corner and we'll blast everybody. And it'll be a lovely display of lots of firepower and lasers. And we do have a line of sight. Well, not a line of sight. We do have a side-on attack. May as well fire at the Scorpion. That's a 6.5% chance, but it can't possibly hit any of the people that I have because there's nobody near him. So if we had managed to hit him once, it totally would have been worth it. Even if we didn't hit it, it's worth it to try and get the LRM ammunition off the bloody mech. Alright, try and keep the urban mech up. It's got an AC-10. That AC-10 will just wipe out anybody that it hits right now, but it's... Oh, we got a mech here. And the mass truck is taking the long way around. That is unfortunate. Got a Commando P, so Pirate Commando. That could be several things. Some of them are not good, others are fine. Please tell me that you're not about to drop a bomb on me, because I think you're about to... No, you fired a flamer. So that is an odd weapon setup for a Ripper. Is to have twin flamers on board. I will pop right over. Can I get a... That's the angle I want. Be right on top of you. Where is your actual base location? What is the tile you're standing on? Probably something like that. Alright, so if we hop down over here. Hi, I'm looking right up at you. We got the listen kill ammunition for the extra accuracy and blast away. Well, we hit him a couple of times, but didn't manage to break it just yet. So the Ripper's still going to take quite a bit more fire to actually bring him down, although I would be interested to see where the damage has been taken. Finding that is going to be a little bit difficult. Mass truck, driving along. Oh, most of it's in the back. So all it needs is just a couple of machine gun bullets to the back and it'll probably be dead. And the heavy wheeled APCs. Yeah, the entire convoy has scattered, which is a bit of a problem. Got incoming missiles. I'm going to assume that's from the Pirate Commando. I mean, I suppose... Yeah, definitely from the Pirate Commando. I was about to say it possibly could have come from the other Ripper with a rocket pod and a medium laser, but I didn't think that was all that likely, and it does not appear to be the case at all. We've got a lot of enemy units to get moving with high movement values, and the game somewhat struggles with that, but it's definitely given its all at this point. Can you please come back to the rest of the convoy? I don't want to, we're going to be stuck with it. Ripper taking a couple more machine gun bullets, unfortunately didn't manage to actually kill it just yet. We'll get that done in fairly short order. I may have to sprint in order to get that angle. Do I see your armor? Your armor is turret and back. Alright, so what you would have to do is to sprint all the way over to here. Or you can engage the commando. I think it might be a better idea to engage this commando. Get ourselves in the water so that we can do whatever the heck we want. Take aim at it. It's not all that great, but we are in the water. Shut off the machine guns, keep the heat under control, and blast away. Okay, so we managed to miss him completely with every single shot, but that was somewhat expected. Coach, can I get you to... I could get you to punch the target, but no. Can I get you... Actually, no. That is probably the solution, isn't it? Unless it has a fantastic defense. It does. Okay, so... Sprint, see if I can't get you a back angle. I can't, but what I can do is I can give you decent shots with everything else, unless that was just building. Shut you off, and just fire everything you got. If you hit once, that'll be worth it. He didn't hit once. Somewhat to be expected. The Shadowhawk is kind of pointless. Like, this current configuration is definitely an abomination. The other huge problem that it has is it's got 3 different types of ammunition. Please stop shooting the mass truck. It's a mass truck, man.
Commander?
It's not all that dangerous to you, is it? The other major problem with this particular Shadowhawk is that it has a ton of ammunition in... There's just no point. Oh, gonna have to take a little while longer to get you there. It has a ton of ammunition in each of its torsos, which is quite obviously really bad because it has a ton of ammunition in the center torso, a ton of ammunition in one of the side torsos, and a ton of ammunition in the other side torso. It's awful because it's incredibly dangerous. Vehicle destroyed. Okay, good. No, it was coming from the bottom, not where the actual model is demonstrating. Which means that if you get a penetrating hit that actually sets off the ammunition in any one of the locations, it could potentially pop all 3. And really, a penetrating hit on any of the torsos is just an instantly dead torso on this mech. So it's very risky to be in. It's one of the reasons why I'm not being hyper aggressive with it and not taking it on like super high level missions, even though the Shadowhawk is honestly a fairly decent mech. Getting blasted with more rockets. The mass truck has its structure exposed, which is a bit of a problem because we have a tank nearby, which could probably make it stay very, very bad. The Shadowhawk, however, is in punchy range, and we'll get in behind him in order to start punching with that 50 damage. Looks like he was not able to connect with that one, which is very unfortunate, because now he's somewhat unsteady. He's out in the middle of the open, and the pirate commando is not dead. All of which were things that we kind of wanted to accomplish. So that's not great. Gotta get the urban mech moving forward soon, although it does need to start probably escorting this mass truck to the right location. Gonna have to give it a little bit of time. I'd like to be able to start giving it shots on the Scorpion, which doesn't appear to be moving all that much. And the wheel APC driving forward as well. They're both heading towards the extraction zone. I'd like to get everybody out of here just for the cash bonus. It ain't much cash of a bonus, but, you know, it's the principle of the thing. Also, the moment they touch that, it's going to summon 4 more units, and that is not something I want to deal with at the moment. I want to deal with that only after I've killed everybody. And there goes the no claims bonus. Wow, you fired a lot of shots. Was that all rockets? Because it kind of feels like that was... I'm not sure what that was, actually. So his ballistic is broken. It must have been a machine gun that broke. But he seemed to have a fairly significant amount of firepower in that gun. Okay, those missiles almost hit my Shadowhawk. I mean, it didn't, but it came close. Enemy phase, they still got this Ripper that can move on through. I should be able to kill this Scorpion by stopping it in the back. We deal 50, yeah, we deal 50 damage. I should be able to take care of it. Death Crusade and your Phoenix Hawk. I am going to try and take out the Commando with my lasers, which are fairly effective at this range. We get a 61% chance. We're going to fire absolutely everything. And managing to miss the vast majority of that. Jeez, it's like you don't want to win. Which does happen on occasion, apparently. Let's take aim, 28 and 16. I don't have anything in the way, so you may as well sling it. Hey, I hit it! Good job! Scorpion has been touched off by the urban mech. So already starting to make progress there. Where is that damage? We don't know. We'll find out shortly. Alright, so back up to a new phase. Unfortunately, these guys are going to activate the enemy, and that's not good. Unless they don't move. Am I outside your movement radius? I might be. And if so, I'm going to stay outside your movement radius. Alright, Finn. I need you to maneuver to kill somebody. You're at 14. You are, we don't know. Where is your armor broken? On that right side? Well, I suppose I can get involved with this one. Leaping around here. And we'll wipe out the Scorpion. There we go. Managed to knock out the Scorpion completely. And we've gotten whatever he broke on there. And now comes a Ripper and a Commando. Where is that Ripper? I do not see it. Oh, there it is. Way off in the distance. It has decided it doesn't actually want to play today. Allied turns, I assume they're just going to not move anything unless it's this particular mass truck, which we're on phase 15 and it's 18, so no, it's this one who's finally deciding, hey, nobody's near me enough to actually do anything. Alright, you are going to honestly stand still and just take a shot. I mean, you are going to cook yourself a little bit. How do you have a less accurate chance this time? Does seem a little bit bad. Fire everything. Hey, there we go. Ripping into his back, destroyed his right arm, and he's managed to injury ignore. Oh, so he's got a good cockpit. Knocked out 2 of his missile launchers, so that's great. Mass truck driving along. Going to do nothing. And the enemy turn. I was hoping that we would have reduced this guy's ability to move, so I'm really kind of hoping it's the Ripper that's currently activating. Because if it's the Commando, that'll probably prevent me from being able to punch it with my big old mech. Oh no, it was the Commando, and it did shoot my mass truck and hit it. So please don't go anywhere. Please just stay standing still, so I don't gotta chase you. Oh, you legitimately did that. I was saying that more to be somewhat facetious, but I suppose if you just want to hold your ground, then that is entirely up to you. Okay, wouldn't have done that, but I suppose you can if you want to. Alright, who's up next? Is it still the Ripper or still him? No, it comes back to us. Coach! Yeah, I want you to punch him in the back. That's your best possible chance of causing major damage to him, is to just put a big old fist in his back. Or, you know, you could put a boot to his back and destroy the mech entirely. That'll work out, too. I've got no problems with that, and it looks like we managed to steal that medium laser that we needed. Alrighty, so the urban mech can just keep trying to keep up the mass truck. Oh, it's so slow. AC-10 unjammed, so it looks like it jams every turn. That seems like a design flaw. Now we gotta go engage that Ripper. Which, hey, that did it. There's a Ripper. Hello? Oh, 42% accuracy. Fire away. And we took it out. Nice job. Just spitting a whole bunch of missiles this way, was able to actually knock it completely out of the sky. So now we just have to deal with these 2, and I think I can get most of my force over here in order to support the enemies that I assume will drop in over here, or perhaps down over here. I can't imagine they'll drop in behind us. Alright, get that Phoenix Hawk to sprint, and we'll get ourselves back under heat. Chill the mech out. I mean, it's not completely chill, but we're working on it. Alright, ally movement. It is phase 17, so this should be the mass truck, right? Yes. Yes, it should be. Now, is the mass truck close enough to the urban mech in order to continue to move forward? Because if not, okay, it is. Because if not, the urban mech is definitely going quite slowly. Alright, the super chill Shadowhawk, mainly because, one, I don't think it literally can, if it alpha strikes, cause enough heat in order to overheat this mech. And Mockingbird. Well, keep up. Keep up, little guy. Oh, it's definitely trying. It is certainly trying. Alright, allied round 11? Who's on 11? Oh, phase 19, round 11. Never mind. Okay, so they will activate the target location this turn. We are not going to have the Javelin along with us, which is a bit unfortunate. Alright, they've dropped in right across the street from us in 4 locations. 3 locations? Well, in any event, we'll have to hopefully hit them hard enough to make them go away. I don't want to have to deal with their pain. Fins up. Yeah, you got a bit of a long journey back, don't you? If you sprinted, you'd get to about there. If you jumped, you'd get to there, which honestly is just about as far. Yeah, but we may as well run just to keep the heat down. If we had done that jump, 1, we would have had an instability. We'd have to jump the next round after that, and then 2, oh, what do we got? It's Mongoose Heart just loaded to the gills with good kit. Sprint. How do I get to you? How do I get to you fast? So, Mongoose have arced sheathed beacons on board. So I would like to steal that, because that is basically a free electronic countermeasure in your cockpit zone, or at least it used to be. That may have changed. But as of the last time that I played this prior to the Urban Warfare update, the sheath beacons actually did give you basically a free ECM. It was amazing. It took up an additional critical slot, but aside from that, there was no reason not to grab it. And over here we do indeed have an Urban Mech. Now, Urban Mechs should not be discounted. They are quite dangerous, as we demonstrated with our Urban Mech, which did a long-range AC-10 sniper shot. But this does not seem to be that case. We're going to brace it up, and our people are all in the extraction zone. And you are going to take a while. If I sprinted, we get just a little bit farther. Otherwise, I would be hopping every single turn like we did the last time. Okay, here comes the Leopard dropship with all of its heavy weapons on board, which it's not going to use for reasons. And next turn, it will pick them up and take them away, right? Alright, Finn.
Standing by.
Yeah, you got more of a trip on your hands. But you're almost there. Luckily for us, I don't think any of the enemy has any sort of... I don't believe they have any anti-missile system. So we got a Cossack, which I'm not familiar with. Then we got a Mongoose, which didn't have good kit, unless this is one of the downgraded versions of the Mongoose, which I'm not sure if it is. And a Pirate Urban Mech, which could be equipped with, I believe, rocket launchers and just rocket launchers. A couple of smaller weapons too, rotary chemical lasers. Shooting our wheeled APC, which is somewhat irritating because there's not much we can do about it. Allied turn, they can't do anything. Death Crusade shall now maneuver out into the open and say hello. That's terrible. Actually, yep, you do absolutely have all that. So fire everything. Alright, good hits on target already. So the Mongoose is already structure exposed, and it is indeed providing an electronic countermeasure, which I do believe is located in the head. So we will have to endeavor not to blow the head off. Everything else is fair game. Although if we can kill it by blowing up the legs only, that would be a little bit more ideal in order to save even more of its kit, because I do believe it has Endo and Pharaoh on board as well. And here comes the Cossack. Gonna shoot our wheeled APC, causing some damage. Firing all over the place, and apparently knocking down a skyscraper, which is invisible and flying above us. And he's cooking. So there's that. Coach, you're up. Coach is in range to give him a boot. And that's exactly what we're going to do. 43% chance, but we're going to go for it anyway. And did not connect, which apparently we missed by 48%.
No love on that strike.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, mate. But he is now in position next turn in order to do stuff. And also he is now, acting as a deterrent. So we'll set up our Urban Mech with long-range shelling. No, not even going to try. I'm just going to turn him on, but a 9%, I'm not going to take that, or not even a 9%, a 0.9% is not worth it. So as long as he's inside the electronic countermeasure bubble, there's not much I can do. Okay, all kinds of missiles all over the place. The wheeled APC also exploding, but we already got our no claims bonus taken away from before, so it didn't matter. So we've got out the 2, and that's good enough. We don't get penalized anything for it, so we may as well hang around, kill everybody left in order to get all of their stuff, which supposedly could be quite good if the Mongoose stands still and lets me kick it a couple of times. Finn is up. Finn, are you in range yet? Finn is about to be in range. Oh, and Finn is in the side angle. 21%, I'm going to take it. I know, my Shadowhawk's nearby, but you know what? I just need a couple of hits to blow off his leg. Or break his hip. That'll work too. That should slow him down a little bit. Coach, can I just punch from here? 54%? Or I can have Death Crusade move in and shoot him. Or also try and punch. I'll have Death Crusade maneuver around here, I think. Do I want to risk the Urban Mech? I don't think it's that big of a deal. I have no information about it. But I'm gonna bank on it not being as dangerous as I think it is. We'll slip up over here. We will cook the sucker, because we do have a fairly decent amount of chance for accuracy. Sorry, stumbling all over my words today. Alright, so by the way, the Mongoose is in fact its own new model now. It is one of the models that was created by the makers of the mod and those who supported them. Can't really zoom in as much as I'd like. Coach, why don't you give us a nice big close-up while you break him in half?
Engaging target.
Or, there could be a tree there and you could totally miss. Both of those things work, actually.
Stand still, moron.
So he's managed to miss 2 punches in a row. He is due for one, although that's logic that doesn't actually work. I really do need to wipe him out because the electronic countermeasure is a significant problem. It will make it darn near impossible for me to actually kill anything in very short order. Taking a couple of shots on the javelin. Holy crap! Those obviously were pulse lasers, so we suffered through that quite heavily. However, the javelin is still intact, and the Mongoose hopefully did not move, which will allow me to punch him next turn. Please don't be an ace pilot. Please don't be an ace pilot. Because if it's an ace pilot, he can move now, and then that'll be just the worst of all worlds. I would like to just kick him, knock him down, blow off his other leg, and then just have that be the taking of the entire mech. Because he has good kit on him. He's got pulse lasers. Oh, it's the Cossack. Cossack trying to give a swing towards our javelin, but having the exact same problem that we're having. Apparently has some sort of big cannon, which is somewhat concerning. Hey, guess who walked up right next to me? But I still have a terrible chance to hit. If I just fired at him, 29%. If I moved in, I believe it was also 29%. Yeah, I think it's 29, slightly better. Take the shot. Oh, just cored it out. Jeez, this Urban Mech does not mess around. When it's got you, it's got you. Alright, so the Cossack is dead. We've got that handled. And then incoming more shells, blasting our little Urban Mech. But it looks like our armor has managed to hold up to the shot. We managed to hit us right center torso, ripped away half the armor. But we're still going. Ace Pilot Urban Mech, though. Ultra evasive, ultra aggressive. Finn, you're up.
Yes, Commander.
What I need you to do is I need you to walk up next to him and tell him that he's not allowed to do this crap anymore. Oh, crap, you're behind him. Why don't you do his side to blow off his leg? I think I killed him. Yeah, that was a heatsink kit. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, in that case, you're going to walk up here and you're going to punch him. And you're going to get behind him as well. So my intention had been to get behind him, or next to him, in order to break the leg off of him. Then shoot him in the leg to steal all his cool stuff, but it looks like we had to kill him. And we're just going to punch. Punches to chill out, break his legs. Left leg has been destroyed. That's going to put him on the ground and vulnerable. I don't think I want to risk firing an AC-10 shell at it, because the AC-10 works in mysterious ways we've looked at. Alright, Mockingbird.
Standing by.
What's your shot? 61%. Oh. If you miss this shot, Mockingbird, that's going to be really depressing. That was the left torso. I was hoping for the leg, but I suppose that's what we've got to work with. He's got to stand right back up, that giant missile box launcher, which is, I don't know what it's shooting, but it does concern me. I would like to take it intact just to see what it is. I think it's a pepper box. A pepper box rifle, which is basically a poor man's AC LBX autocannon. Alright, the javelin, I don't know where he's weak to, but I'm just going to get behind him and go to kill him. Hi. Bye. And there goes his engine. I think we managed to actually keep that weapon intact, so we'll be able to find out what it was. Lovely job. Did anybody get a penetrating kit? I don't think we did. So if that's the case, that'll be nice cheap repairs, and we'll be able to turn this around in short order. I'm debating about whether or not we leave. I don't think we do. I don't think we've farmed enough equipment, and there's still a whole bunch more 1 and 1.5 skull missions for us to grab, as long as our lance is sort of down low in the capability tiers so far. 236,910 C-bills, plus the 10% for killing everybody. And the javelin, yeah, took a pretty nasty center torso hit, but didn't actually die. Same thing with the urban mech on this one. And our 2 heaviest mechs didn't get touched at all, which will keep our repair times down. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 parts to the mongoose, which is very interesting. Medium lasers, light PPC plus cap. PPC applies stacking ECM jamming of 1. This weapon has a recoil of 0. High energy capacitors violently discharge. Jerry-rigged capacitor improves weapons stats, gains unique fire modes incompatible to PPC capacitor. Deals 30 damage but weighs 4 tons because it's light PPC. Still light PPC, and yes, the parts of the capacitor shielding, but it can rapid fire? Well, that's an interesting setup. That might be worth grabbing. Oh, medium pulse lasers. Give me the medium pulse lasers and a medium VSPL. I'll keep that alive. This is possibly what he had. So an MRM-20 is not a horrific thing, but it's not exactly something up. Okay, well, I know what I'm getting. Give me that XL engine. I'm still in the light phase. We use these things all the time. I have no Pharaoh. I have 1 Endo, so I should swap the Pharaoh and the Endo. I mean, I would prefer the Endo, because Endo is generally better. Double heatsink kit, I believe we blew to smithereens. There are 2 double heatsinks, and see, this is what I'm talking about. Most of this gear came from the mongoose, and the fact that we got the mongoose mostly intact means we got a lot of fun gear. Okay, so the sensor econ was pretty fun, if I remember correctly. Oh no, not anymore. It used to be better. Rangefinder gives gunnery, so we'll give the mask as well. Double heatsink, but because we blew up the engine, I'm willing to assume that it is not going to give me the thing for free. Doesn't look like we managed to get a sheathed beacon. That may not be a thing on it anymore. Oh, it's MRM with improved launchers. The improved missile MRM fixes the problem with the MRM, because the MRM instinctively has a -1 accuracy. But if you add on to that the improved ammunition, it adds 1 to knock out the -1 and then adds another in order to give you a +1 to hit, which is really great. I really like MRMs like that. So I think what I want to grab is then the Guardian ECM. So the XL, because this will free up just oodles and oodles of weight, which is amazing. We'll also be able to get the ferrofibrous because we already have 1 of the endos, although I do hope I can get the endo. That's hopeful. The Guardian ECM, because it doesn't weigh all that much, but it provides a huge benefit. And then the mask, because mask is pretty interesting equipment. It basically can supercharge speed your mech. All right, what do we got? We got 1 part to the mongoose, 1 part to the Cossack. Oh no, 2 parts to the mongoose, so that'll be interesting. We did get the light PPC, which I was very interested in, and the energy mod for it. We did not get the endo steel to go with it, but we did get the rangefinder. Did I ask for the rangefinder? I did not ask for the rangefinder. So the rangefinder is not a bad pickup either. We did also get a single double heatsink, but it's not really all that useful. And, oh, we missed all of the medium pulses. That sucks. I really wanted the medium pulse lasers too. That would have been super useful to have, just laying around the extra medium pulse lasers to really lay into the enemy. But the XL engine is going to be great for our light mechs. I don't like using XL engines on anything heavier than light mechs, but when it comes to light mechs, XL engines can save you a ton of weight, give you a lot more capability in a very slim form factor, or perhaps not. It's light, but it's bigger. It takes up 6 critical slots additional from what it normally should. But the weight, it halves the weight of the fusion core, which that is a huge amount of weight savings. Now, there are some people who insist on placing XL engines in much, much larger mechs, like, say, our Shadowhawk. I think that's way, way too risky, because you go from having a mech which is quite durable to a mech that if any of the torsos pop, it instantly dies. Keep in mind that in order to kill a mech in this game, you need to give it 3 engine critical hits. And if it's got 3 additional engine slots per side torso, any side torso pops, the entire thing dies. 3,816 for the next 3 days will get us back up and running at maximum capability. So let's take a look at that. The Javelin, the Usagi, and the Brigand all are under repair, so I'm going to move the Brigand on up because I need it a little bit more, and that'll mean that everybody's all nice and done in 3 days, which I need to spend anyway because all of my pilots are currently out. So not bad in terms of pickup on this one. So I don't think I've gotten enough gear just yet in order to really modify anything super heavily. So we've got the periphery rifle and the pepper box. We'll probably sell the periphery rifles. I mean, it's 1 ton for 20 damage. It's a medium laser with extra range. Let's go check that. I don't have a medium laser to check that on. I do, but I'll have to take a look at one of my mechs for it. So it's 1 ton, 1 critical slot, which is a medium laser. And the range is longer. So you do have to spend a 2nd ton on the ammunition. But maybe that's not so bad. I mean, it ain't great, but I'm kind of starving for, everything. The light rifle is 3 tons, which is much more painful. Yeah, periphery rifle. 1 recoil, minus 30 ADM, minus 30 damage dealt to armor. Oh, okay. So it's much worse. So minus 30% armor damage modifier. Okay. So that's pretty terrible. That is pretty gosh darn awful. In that case, I'll sell it. I'm not going to keep it around. Not no way, no how, especially with the end of the month coming up, and we are charged for stuff that is in our storage. And we didn't get the MRM, which was disappointing. With the fluid guns, oh no, we have ammo for the fluid guns, but we didn't actually get fluid guns. So equipment, we're starting to get really nicely equipped on stuff. I mean, we have lots of things in order to improve the mech itself. The problem is we don't have guns in order to improve the mech alongside it. So that's a bit of a problem. Let's come over to the store, see if they've got anything, and also so we can get rid of a couple of our more useless pieces of equipment. They are willing to sell us, ballistic ammo, and it's all just ammo, so there's nothing super useful there. The PPC, they are willing to sell. No missile technology whatsoever. Jump jet small should be required, which I do believe the Brigand requires a small jump jet. Do I have any? I should, right? Yeah, I have 9. We're well stocked on jump jets. A whole bunch of fusion cores and heat sinks, so nothing super useful there. All right, let's sell some stuff. So first things first, we're going to sell that periphery rifle because it's absolutely worthless to us. And then I think I'm going to keep the pepper box just because it could be useful. I don't know what I'd want to do with it. Also don't really know how it works. I think the light rifle might be a bit better. It weighs 4 tons, 2 critical slots versus the 3 tons for 2 critical slots, but only 30 damage. But it doesn't have to worry about other things, like the -1 accuracy that comes with this. So yeah, we'll sell the pepper box as well. Ammo LMG half ton is fine. We'll keep the machine guns because you never quite know when you're going to need machine guns. Half machine gun ammo, I don't need it, and I think I can buy machine gun ammo from this location. I mean, I could buy machine guns too. They're willing to sell me 1 for $10,000. I think they're nuts. Oh no, they're not selling machine gun ammo. Well, in that case, I'm going to hang on to it then. Energy weapons, I'm going to keep that. Missile weapons. All of these are somewhat useful to me. I mean, I don't think I'm going to ever use the SAM one, but I don't know if I'm going to run into much more dangerous aero fighters. Keep the ammo for the paint? Yeah, we'll keep the paint ammo. Jump jets, I've got 9. I've got 2 improved jump jets. We're going to keep all that. I can't imagine I would sell any of these, especially not that XL engine. I thought for a second that said it. That was a kit. Cockpit basic, no. I mean, I'll keep 1 around, just in case I run into a primitive mech. That way I can put something better on it. So basic cockpit, fire control standard, I will sell down to 1 again. Just so we've got one to modify an ancient mech should we get our hands on it. Partial wing system, rangefinder, and sensor basic, 1. So yeah, that'll be basically what we're doing. Sold a couple of things, saved a little bit of money, hopefully. But other than that, there's nothing we can really do until the end of the month. So we're going to chug along for the next 3 days to get our pilots back and to get all of our stuff fixed. So we're just going to keep with the normal payment. Our morale is a bit low, which obviously is not great. But we'll be working on that. Quick check of the mech bay, make sure I don't need to do anything else to the Javelin. Nope, the Javelin is A-OK, perfectly alright. And I don't think I want to modify it just yet. I could throw in the XL engine, but if I do that, I'm going to want to improve it. I'm going to want to give it better weapons and that sort of thing. And we don't have the better weapons to give it just yet. I'm really disappointed that we missed all of those, every single one of those medium pulse lasers. There were 3 in the list and we missed them all. We also missed the MRM. That was also kind of sad. At least the ammo would have been nice. Swap out the jump jet. Give me another piece of equipment. Take jump jets. Put it back in. And you've got a double heatsink kit. I could rob you of your double heatsink kit. No, you need it too much. You're 60 for 88 heat. Those ER lasers are toasty, but they do allow it to fight from very long ranges. So it does look like we need at least another day, so yeah, the 1 day to fix the Brigand is absolutely acceptable. And that'll get pretty much our entire company back except for Howl. So we'll no, we'll leave it there for now. So we managed to run into a mongoose and raided it for all of its cool stuff, including getting engines for it, which is lovely. Don't know what we're going to do with it just yet. We do definitely need some more weapons equipment, which was kind of the thing that I wanted to be looking for, but unfortunately we didn't actually find any. Actually, no, we did find some, but then we found much better equipment. If we hadn't taken the mongoose as intact as we did, I would have grabbed probably all of those medium pulse lasers, or 2 medium pulse lasers, the MRM ammo, and the MRM and the improved MRM. So the MRM-20 and the improved MRM ammo. That's what we would have gone with. But because we were able to get all the really good kit, I couldn't say no to it. We now have an electronic countermeasure system that we got to put into some mech. We now have a mask system, which we'll probably end up putting into the Shadowhawk. We now have an XL engine, which somebody's going to get and we're going to modify. And on top of that, we managed to pick up the something. Oh yeah, ferrofibrous, just in order to give us a little bit more weight saving. So we've got 1 of each for the ferro and the endo, which will allow us to build a mech into something interesting. So we've got a lot of options for constructing the mech, just not for arming the mech, but that will have to wait for another time. Anyway, I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe if you see a notification every time I post one of these videos. Press the bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.